Welcome, everyone, back to the Medcurity podcast, where it is our goal to help you be more compliant with HIPAA and cybersecurity in today's changing landscape. Today, we're going to be talking about an increasing threat in the healthcare sector, and this is DDoS attacks. We will go over some of the recent guidelines from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and then we'll talk about how you can protect your healthcare organization with a few proactive strategies. So what does DDoS stand for? This stands for Distributed Denial of Service Attacks, and they are among the growing threats to the healthcare environment. Essentially, these attacks occur when multiple systems, often referred to as botnets, are used to flood a network with excessive traffic. And this overwhelming influx makes it impossible for the actual users, the legitimate users of that system, to access their essential online services. And so you can imagine how this would be valuable for hackers to employ against healthcare organizations. And in the healthcare context, this type of disruption can mean a loss of access to electronic health records and other critical resources necessary to continue service. These attacks can target an entire network. They can target specific applications, and they can exploit weaknesses in various protocols. And per usual, these motivations behind these attacks are typically around financial gain for these hacker groups. So how can healthcare organizations protect themselves against these threats? Common tools used by attackers include things like low orbit ion cannon, LOIC, high orbit ion cannon, HOIC, slow loris, and RUDY, which stands for Are You Dead Yet? Which I always get a kick out of the names for these types of things, but each have its own unique method of overwhelming the systems that they are trying to target. So how can healthcare organizations protect themselves against these threats? Some key strategies include, first, enhancing infrastructure. This is all about preparing your network to handle unexpected traffic spikes. So deploying multiple servers in different geographic locations can help distribute the load, making it harder for an attack to overwhelm the entire system. And this method is also known as load balancing, and it can ensure that if one server is targeted, others can take over the traffic and help you maintain service availability. Another is conducting regular security audits, so regularly checking your systems for vulnerabilities, examining your network, applications, various protocols for any weaknesses that could be exploited, and then once identifying these vulnerabilities, addressing these immediately by applying updates or patches, and keeping your systems up to date is super important. Developing an incident response plan is important as well. Just having a plan in place before an attack occurs in the unfortunate event of one of these attacks can help you significantly reduce the downtime and then the recovery time afterwards. You'll want to detail the steps that you would take immediately following an attack, who to contact, how to communicate with various stakeholders in the process, and making sure this incident response plan is documented and that employees are trained on it is important as well. Monitoring network traffic is another measure, basically involving using advanced tools to keep an eye on the flow of data within your network. These monitoring tools can help detect unusual traffic patterns early, such as a sudden spike in data requests that could indicate an impending DDoS attack. And identifying these early obviously will help you prevent it. Another thing is leveraging DDoS mitigation services. These can help you absorb and mitigate the attack traffic before it reaches your network. They typically involve scrubbing incoming traffic to filter out malicious data packets, ensuring that only the legitimate traffic reaches your servers. And there are third-party services that can do this for you. And so it can sometimes be helpful to offload this onto a third-party expert. And so these are just some of the strategies to use and implement to help build that comprehensive defense system in your cybersecurity plan and system at your organization. And these DDoS attacks are obviously a very serious threat, but with the right strategies and the right tools, you can do a lot to protect your organization against them. Hopefully this was insightful for you today. Again, Medcurity is always here to help walk you through these updates and this changing cybersecurity landscape. So feel free to reach out. As always, we are happy to have you listening in, and we will catch you next time.